You're listening to the My Simplified Life podcast, and this is episode number 6. Welcome to the My Simplified Life podcast, a place where you will learn that your past and even your present don't define your future. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, I want you to feel inspired and encouraged to pursue your dreams, simplify your life, and start taking action today. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and I'm excited to share my stories and life lessons with you while taking you on my own journey. This is My Simplified Life. Hey all, today I want to change it up a bit and share with you my favorite tips and tricks for Pinterest and the importance of why you need to utilize it for your business and your website. I promise you this episode is not just for the women, because men, if you have a blog, a business, or a website for services, you too need to start thinking about Pinterest and how it can grow your web traffic and in turn, your business. If you stick around till the end of the episode, I'm going to tell you how you can grab my free Pinterest 101 guide that will tell you not only how to get started on your account, but samples of graphics and how to stay consistent and grow your traffic as well as your business. Pinterest. There's a myth that it's a virtual bulletin board filled with dream crafts and pretty homes and recipes. It's a fantasy land of beautiful images that we wish our homes and kitchens looked like, and in a way it is. But it's also a visual search engine, and it's a place where 80% of pinners are making purchases while they're pinning. I want you to let that sink in for just a moment. 80% of people looking at these gorgeous images and graphics are stopping to make a purchase. And if you're wondering how much that equates to, there's 250 people on Pinterest every single month. So imagine the type of traffic and business growth that you could see if you're on Pinterest. It's really Google on steroids, and your word search is producing images instead of just words and links like it does on Google. But just as there's a strategy for your content to show up on Google, there's a strategy to ensure your content shows up in Pinterest and drives traffic to your website. So first things first, you've signed up for an account. You now need to verify your website. Now, I am by no means a website expert or whiz, but even I was able to do this for you, and I do it for my clients on the regular. So I know that you too can get this done. If it's confusing, then this is my motto. Go Google it, because Google actually has step-by-step instructions no matter who you're using. If it's a Squarespace site or a WordPress site, Google can tell you how to do it. Basically, though, Pinterest is going to give you a code and you're going to embed it in your website. And then you're going to let Pinterest know that you've done this. They're going to ping your site, and they say it'll take up to 24 hours, but normally it's within the hour. And then boom, you're verified. Awesome. But what does verifying your website do for you? Well, let's talk about more weird and confusing and random words. Verifying your website is going to allow you to create rich pins. No, I'm not just making these words up. These are truly Pinterest words. But don't worry, you don't need to take notes. This is all going to be covered in the freebie at the end too. A rich pin is when your pin's title appears in big, bold letters underneath your graphic. So if you're scrolling through Pinterest, and I'm sure many of you have, and you probably haven't even noticed this, but if you're scrolling through and you see an image and there's no title below it, then those pins are not coming from verified sites. This means that it's either not your content or the original pinner's content. But why do you need to have a big, bold title? Well, let's say you have a product or a service or a blog post with a beautiful image, but you haven't had time to go make a graphic that's Pinterest specific. That means that you might not have text that overlays somewhere on that graphic to say what the product is or what the post is about. So you create a pin and you enter a title, but if your website isn't verified, then that pin title isn't going to show up anywhere. So now you just have a picture of a product or a post, but no one knows why they should be clicking on it. It's kind of like Instagram if you don't read the caption and it's just a stock photo. They might not even know what it is. So this is why it is so important to verify your website so you have the ability to create rich pins. Okay, now that boring stuff and website stuff's out of the way, let's talk about making your account look aesthetically pleasing and on brand with board covers. This is simple. You don't have to be a graphic designer because I certainly am not, and yet I have worked on a ton of accounts that look so gorgeous. And the beauty is you can do it for free. Check out canva.com if you haven't already, because you can design anything there. For your board covers, you're going to do a graphic the size of an Instagram post. Yes, Instagram post, because they do have Pinterest graphic sizes, but for a board cover, it's going to be Instagram size, so a square instead of a rectangle. You can add your logo, you can add your own font, your brand colors, everything that's going to make it you. Now, when you name your board, I don't want you to get cutesy. If you're pinning about recipes, don't call the board Yummy Delicious Dinners, because chances are people are not searching for yummy and delicious dinners. They're just not. Call them Dinner Recipes for the Family. And in your description of the board, go even deeper and more specific with easy dinner recipes for families and busy moms that are perfect for weeknights. Do you see how you just covered so many different things with just one sentence? Now you can add some hashtags. And yes, Pinterest uses hashtags now as well. You should use a minimum of 4, but no more than 20. They're relevant, but it's not the same as on social media because they show up chronologically and not based on popularity. So keep that in mind as you're pinning, that hashtags, whatever you've pinned before, is going to go lower and lower in people's searches. So that's why you want to pin quite often. So now you've got your board covers created, and now you get to organize them. First thing first, put your own content at the top. You are trying to drive people to your website and to your products and services, so you don't want to have your own board buried at the bottom. There's a drag and drop feature so you can move them around, put them in any order that you want. And if there's a board that has absolutely nothing to do with what you do or sell, hide it. So for example, if you have a board about cute dogs, but you have nothing to do with dogs in your coaching business, then let's just hide that board. You still get to pin to it. You can still refer to it. It's still there, but it's not going to be what's attracting people to your account. So basically that's it. Now we get to pin. So you're going to head back on over to Canva and you're going to create some different Pinterest graphic templates. This is going to make it easy on you when you're creating multiple pins for a single blog post or service or product, because all of the work is already going to be done for you and you just need to switch out the image and the words. Canva has tons of templates for you to choose from, so you're not starting from scratch, you're not designing something brand new, and yet you can personalize it to fit your brand with your colors, your logo, your font, and much more. When you start adding your pins to Pinterest, you need to keep in mind, once again, to use searchable words. They're called keywords. A good trick, if you can't think of words to use, is to go to the search bar in Pinterest and enter one of the words that you're going to use in your pins. It's going to populate the phrases that are being searched. So for example, if I'm doing a post on podcasts, but I don't know what people are looking for when it comes to podcasts, I go enter in the word podcast in the search bar, and immediately it drops down the top searches. And they're podcasts for women in their 20s, how to start a podcast, and podcast topic ideas. There you go. If my pin has anything to do with any of those searches, like a recent episode, then I need to include those search words within my description because I know it's what people are looking for. So basically, Pinterest is giving you the answers as to what people are looking for when it comes to your content. Now your account is looking gorgeous. You're pinning content like a pro, but then what do? Now you have to get consistent. You need to start pinning 3 to 5 times a day. And I am sure some of you are saying, I do not have time to go play on Pinterest 3 to 5 times a day. So what do? Well, there's an app for that, my friends. It's called Tailwind, and I'm going to add an affiliate link to the show notes so you can try it out for yourself for free. But Tailwind allows you to schedule your pins in advance. I do this for myself and my clients. I sit down once a month for a few hours and I schedule it all out and I'm done. Then all I have to do throughout the month is create branded pins that have to do with our blog posts or podcast episodes to go up separately. You shouldn't create your pins in Tailwind though, because they're not going to come out as rich pins. So that's just a little side note. Once they're up in Pinterest, you can certainly repin them in Tailwind. So now you're set up. You know how to use Pinterest, start driving traffic, but is it really going to work? Let me give you myself as an example. Right now, I get anywhere from 250 to 350,000 views a month on my Pinterest account. Over 25% of my web traffic comes from Pinterest. I would call those pretty damn good analytics, but that's up to you. You can do this all on your own, or you can hire someone like me to manage it for you. But regardless of how you do it, you need to start utilizing Pinterest. It is a game changer. And mark my word, I've been saying this for months. It's going to take over social media because social media is completely lacking right now with algorithm changes and making it so hard to get engagement, whereas Pinterest is not. There is a game and a strategy to it, but it's simple and it's going to drive your traffic and help increase your business. I wanted to share my tips on Pinterest with you today because I want to help you build your business in the way I'm building mine. And when I stumble upon nuggets of wisdom, I'm going to share them with you. If you head over to bit.ly/Pinterest Get Started, you can grab your Pinterest 101 guide for free. It is jam-packed with everything I shared today and so much more. I'll also have the links that I've mentioned in the show notes, so you can head over to mysimplifiedlife.net, and under the podcast section, all of the notes and links will be there for you. And friends, when it comes to you and your business, remember that your past and your present don't define your future. You do.